morning, everyone, and welcome to our webinar, How to Build Your Commercial Business with CID Insurance Programs. My name is Ney Agostini, and I will be your instructor taking you through a little bit more about who we are and how we can help each other build our businesses. So, logistics are first. Everyone will be on mute, and you will be able to hear, but you won't be able to speak. Your voice is important to us, so the questions, please pose them in the chat room over to the right, and you can pose them throughout the webinar, and I'll answer any questions as we go along. And I really appreciate, any questions that you may have. There will be a short survey afterwards, so I would really appreciate your feedback. We always like to know how we're doing and how we can improve. So without further ado, let's talk about what our objectives are today. And I just want to tell you a little bit about more who CID is, and definitely want to go over the product appetite so you have a good idea of what to submit to us. And I'm going to talk a little bit about new business and renewals today. And so it's going to be really important to focus on not just on new business, but how to retain your commercial renewals, equally important. So, and then I'm going to spend a little time on some useful tools that we offer as a benefit to our brokers that do business with us that are on our website. And so without further ado, let's get started. So we are a small wholesaler out of San Diego, and we write business in 14 states, both admitted and non-admitted in all of those states. So we specialize in independent and captive insurance brokers. That's where our brokers we do best with. And then we have a wide range of preferred risks to manageable, hard to place. So we know our carriers, our underwriters are experienced, and I'll talk a little bit more about that as we go on. So if you're interested in us, here's why you would want to work with us. We are fast and easy with competitive premiums when it comes to quoting for each of our brokers. We are a small wholesaler, and we are very good at what we do. And so we fly under the radar, and we just deliver fast and easy quotes to our brokers. That's what has made us successful, and we continue to grow as a company and build new relationships with independent and captive brokers. Our underwriters are very knowledgeable, experienced, and they're responsive. That's the one thing that I hear all the time from brokers that do regular business with us, is that our underwriters pick up the phone, they answer their email, and you can get a hold of them when you need to if you have a question or you need something right away. So that is valuable. All of them are experienced. They've been with us a number of years. So I feel confident that you'll be taken good care of if you choose to do business with us. And those of you that may only be writing with one of our underwriters, I encourage you to reach out to some of the other departments and check out their products as well. Also, we offer on our website customized marketing materials by class of business and by coverage. So it makes it really easy for you to go in, put your agency information on it, and use that either as a cross-sell with a renewal and or to market for new business. Those are downloadable PDFs, and you can print them out or you can email them to clients. We have a lucrative commission structure, and that's always going to be important. We charge small fees that we make it easier for you to charge a fee as well. Educational opportunities. Well, you're attending a webinar right now, which is great. We have lots of recorded webinars on our website, so please, I encourage you to go watch them at your leisure. And they're 20 to 30 minutes long, and you can keep learning about different classes of business and insurance they need, or different coverages that we have done webinars on. We have educational videos also on our website, and I'm always available for office training, and we can use our GoToMeeting or GoToWebinar in order to do so. And last but not least, we focus on renewal retention and new business production, so to create PIF growth. And I'll talk a little bit more about that as we go forward. Okay, so let's start with some product appetite. Here's Teresa Cochran, and she specializes in garage contractors, manufacturers, distributors, and a lot of your harder to place retail merchants like convenience stores, which can be hard, liquor and tobacco stores, supermarkets, those gas stations. So keep her in mind. She's got some admitted products that are competitive in that arena. She can write just about any type of garage that you would need. So contractors as well. So she's really good and experienced. You'll enjoy working with her. Michelle Belden, she specializes in our property arena, which is going to be your apartments, your lesser's risk, commercial buildings, and community associations of all types, both residential and commercial. The hotel motel business right now is a little, a lot of carriers are moving away from it, but it will come back, and we have a lot of markets that will return to the business, but I wouldn't focus on that class of business currently because of the COVID environment. She also specializes in nonprofits, and there isn't any type of nonprofit that she can't do. We have lots of markets for that, and can write all types of coverages as needed. Concessionaires and vendors, special events, surety and fidelity, and then there's some other miscellaneous things that might be helpful to you, classes of business. So she's very good at the property level and nonprofits. So please, I know that there's a lot of carriers jumping out of the property market right now, and so please utilize Michelle for those submissions and quotes that you would need. Lexi Johnson, she's our workers' comp underwriter, and she handles all the new business. You can see that she does a wide variety of things. She can write many classes of business. Very little that she can't do. There are some rare, hard to place selections that especially if they have. But she's been able to place a lot of things with a high mod. I think she placed one with a 175% mod factor, which is quite high. Not the highest, but it is quite high. So she's been able to get carriers to buy into poor loss history, and that's producing a high mod exposure for the insured. So please consider her, and I'll talk a little bit more. Here's our last. Lexi Johnson also does our professional liability. She does all the new business, and you can see we do a wide range of classes of business for E&O, and then as well as all the other types of coverages such as cyber, employment practices liability, directors and officers liability. But you can see there's a wide range. So be sure to reach out to Lexi if you have any questions. On our website, all of our applications are there. But if you have a question about which one to select, then please reach out to Lexi, and she can assist you. So now we're going to move into a little bit about your agency and how to set up systems to ensure that you are protecting yourself as an agency from an E&O exposure, and one of them is to make sure that you offer your insureds, whether it's a new business opportunity or whether it's a renewal client. You want to make sure that you're offering them all the coverage that they need. And so I've just made a list of many of the coverages that you would typically need, and each class of business may be slightly different. But some of the areas where I usually see the problems are people definitely get the property and general liability, but fidelity and computer fraud coverage and funds wiring coverage, those are that's a more comprehensive standalone fidelity policy, and that gets missed in the industry. So if your insured has they have the care, custody, control of someone's financials, their funds, then you want to make sure that they are insuring for that fidelity exposure, or as well their own fidelity exposure. And cyber liability is just emerging substantially now. It's becoming contractually a major requirement, and ransomware is the biggest claim and the most expensive claim that we're seeing out there at this point. It's a growing exposure, and it's not going to go away. So if someone has a loss and you haven't offered them cyber, it's probably your E&O that's going to be on the line. Professional liability, E&O, is an important coverage to make sure that you are offering as well. They've got a consultant's exposure. They're doing any kind of professional services where they could cause an economic loss. Then you want to make sure that you are offering professional liability. Garage is its own beast in itself, so that I put that down there because you can't just write a property and general liability garage. It has its garage keepers. It has a wide variety of coverages that are unique to garage. And then directors and officers liability. That is an important for-profit companies that would have a board diversity that could cause issues between the board members that could cause a lawsuit. That you really want to make sure that they are offering that. Employment practices liability as well is another area that is really important. And then workers' comp, that is if you don't have the workers' comp, you have everything else, that business, you have another broker who's going to be attempting to steal your business. So it's always better to have possession and control of all of your business insured coverages, insurance policies. Hired a non-to-own auto, definitely. Inland marine where needed. And then, of course, umbrella. I think it's always important for businesses to have carry at least an additional $1 million in umbrella coverage, and you need to look at the exposure to see, how high that limit should be. Okay, so here's another system to be considered. You have we're going to talk about new business, and then we're going to talk about renewals. New business should be managed weekly. It's so easy. You have to put a system in place for marketing and for managing your quoting, your ex-dating, your quoting, and then your bind orders. And that's your production. That's your new business production. And you want to manage it weekly so that you have control. You're monitoring how you're doing in a shorter period of time so that you can always turn the ship around and make changes as needed. If you wait a whole month, you're going to end up, 45 days or 15 days into the next month, really just figuring out that you didn't do very well the month before. So manage your weekly new business production, and it gives you 52 start dates. Now, when it comes to renewals, you want to manage those monthly, and you want to create if you don't have an agency management system, maybe you're a farmer's agent, you need to create an Excel spreadsheet, which we have one on our website that's got each month of the year on there, and you can actually fill it and work from it a year after year for your renewals. You want to manage them by effective date so that you show that you've renewed the policy, you received your commission, and the policy was issued. So those are the most important things that you want to handle with each renewal. And that gives you 12 start dates. And whoever is handling your renewals needs would work them. You might have 3 months that you're working at the same time because you're looking back to what you're, and you're looking forward to what you're trying to get renewed and start the process with. Let me know if you have any questions as I go through this. So let's talk further about that renewal process. I mentioned that you want to track it by an expiration point, and you want to confirm that each policy is issued and your commission has been paid. Those are keys to making sure that you have control, that you receive your commissions, is by being able to confirm that for each renewal. You want to treat a renewal like new business. It's only once a year, and you want to send a renewal proposal and confirm, a renewal bind order. So you want to treat them, you have to at least touch them once a year to make sure that they know that you're taking care of them. Otherwise, it's easy for them to be swayed in a different direction by a new broker. And then you want to monitor your renewal retention and lapse ratios. So how did you do? So you take that total premium that you were going to renew for that month, and then how much business did you lose, right? And so that percentage of lost premium is divided by that premium, and it gives you basically what you would call a lapse ratio. And you want to keep that, ideally, 10% or less. And it depends on the class of business. Some classes of business have a higher retention problem than others. So obviously that's something to think about when you're going after new business, because you don't want a book that's going to be turning over all the time. You also, at renewals, want to cross out the other insurance coverages and make sure that you're promoting all the coverages that they need. We've got some proposal templates on our website that actually, put those coverages in there with a definition and then an offer for them to receive a quote. That is a protective measure for you. So take a look at those proposal templates that we have, and they're yours. You can take them and use them and put your own logo on them. Again, asking for referrals while you're working your renewals. If your insured is happy, a lot of times they, even if they don't send anyone to you at that moment, they may send you they may send you someone at a later date and refer someone. Referrals are a really valuable asset, because that means you're doing a great job and more people want to do business with you. And then lastly, focus 50-50 on renewal retention and new business production for profitability. You want to grow your book, and that's why both becomes very important. Okay, so retaining your commercial renewals. It really depends on the PIF count per insurer. So a lot of that, if you have only one policy, you're less likely of keeping it for that insured for a long period of time. So when you move to having two policies, your retention is going to become better. The more PIF per insured, the easier it is to retain the business. And last, as I mentioned, you really need to know what coverages your clients need. And if you don't know, and you're working with our underwriters, they're certainly going to give you some good feedback on that to assist you. And know who controls the other insurance for your insured. Don't put your head in the sand. And know when those expiration dates you want to be continuously going after in order to be in full possession of all policies for that business insured. And then cross-sell, as I mentioned, other insurance at the time of renewal. And we have a follow-up system. 60 days, we start the renewal process 60 days prior to renewal date, asking for updated information. And then 30 days is when we try to get our renewal proposals out to you, and we do a follow-up at 10 days. We recommend you following some kind of similar procedure because that really dovetails with what we do. And then make sure you're providing formal insurance proposals. That's crucial. You need to treat it like new business and make sure that you're presenting formally to them. Even these days, if you can set up a Zoom or a call like where you can go over the proposal, share the screen, and go over the proposal with your insured, that is the best way to keep them, as your client. So here we have many tools on our website. Here's a sample, a proposal template that I was talking about. This one happens to be for workers' comp, but you can see that we've redded the areas that become the template format, that the fillable areas that will change based on the client and the proposal needed. So you can take this, put it on your letterhead, and then use it over and over again as you prepare quotes for your client. As I mentioned, the applications are on our website. We have the recorded webinars. The marketing flyers are really valuable. And then we have an educational library, which is new. And please go and see what we have available. There's a lot of videos to watch as well. They're short. So that in that area, we do little short segments of maybe 2 to 5 minutes, less than 10 minutes, most of it. And that way you can get little shots of information about certain coverages or classes of business. Proposal coverage templates, as I mentioned, we have a sample invoice, which should always go out with your proposal. And then we have a sample broker of record, if a template that makes it easy for you, a no loss letter template as well, claims templates, certificate templates, and then we have some risk profile templates that can be very helpful to you. So I encourage you to visit our website and let us know if you have any questions, or if you want to spend any one-on-one time with me. Jacob can arrange that, and we can put together a meeting, and we can include any of your staff that you would like to. So I would like to thank you for joining us today, and again, I encourage you to visit our website and let us know how we can help you, and look forward to doing business with you in the future. Thanks so much for joining us.